Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a review for you guys. I was sent this hair from Queen Weave Beauty and I am in love, girl, in love. It matches perfectly with my 4C texture, so yes, perfect protective style for the fall. But I'm gonna give you guys my initial thoughts on the hair as well as show you how I made this beautiful wig. Yes. It's a wig. You can't tell, but it's a wig. And I'm gonna show you how I made it. So just keep on watching. So guys, as I stated, I was sent this hair from Queen Weave Beauty, which is 100% virgin hair company, and this video is not sponsored by them, but they did send me 3 bundles of their Coarse Yaki texture in 18, 20, and 22 inches. And the first thing I did when I got the hair was measure it to make sure that it was the lengths that they said they were sending. And I was pleasantly surprised to find out that each bundle was slightly longer than the tag that was on the packaging. They also sent me info cards on everything regarding the hair, as far as like how to care for the hair and prep the hair for installing it, and all the do's and don'ts of the hair. So I really did appreciate that, because I probably would have done the wrong thing since this is my first time ever making a wig. And I started out using this weaving cap, which I'm not sure if this is the best one to use, but it just seemed like the easiest one. So I grabbed that from the beauty supply store and I tried it on, and I made some markings on it with an eyeliner just so I could have a guide on where to stop, because I literally had no clue on what to do. So I just got a curved needle as well from the beauty supply store and threaded it as long as I could. And I started unwrapping the hair and it was beautiful. They give you so much hair in each bundle and the hair is really, really thick. The wefts are really sturdy and the quality just overall was really good. So I started off sewing it from ear to ear, and to be honest, when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing at all, like I said. So I was getting a bunch of knots in the thread and it was just turning out bad. I didn't think I was going to be able to finish the wig, but I just kept on trying and I eventually got my groove. And so I was originally going over the track with the needle and tying it a knot on the other side, but I realized that that was making the hair get caught up in the thread. So eventually I did start going under the track. But I never did go through the weft because it said on the info card not to do that to avoid shedding, and I definitely didn't want to get shedding because when I first pulled the hair out of the package, I had absolutely no shedding from it. So I didn't want to compromise that because I knew that at the end I would have to cut at least one track when I was finished. So I didn't want to do anything else to compromise the quality of the hair. So I just went under the tracks. And then you'll see as I got to the end of the track and I wanted to flip it over, I just did a few more knots right there in that spot where I'm going to flip, just so I can make sure that the hair stays in place. And this part is going to be my bang section. That's why I pulled it closer across the face, like a bang, you know. And so I just continue. Now I'm at the end, the home stretch, and I'm using the last bundle of hair, and I actually didn't end up using the full bundle of 18 inches. I just used probably about half to 3/4 of it, and I just filled in this little space with that bundle. And here you can see where I decided to start going under the weft, and it's turning out a lot neater and a lot better. And for my part, I'm not sure if I can explain this in the best way, but what I did was I just kept going around making that U shape, but making sure not to cross over those guidelines that I made when I first put the wig cap on. So I'm just going to each side and flipping it over and going back to the other side. And I'm continuing to do that until I feel like I have enough hair on the left side. And here you'll see when I just start staying on the other side and just flipping back and forth on that side, making sure not to cross that line where I want my part to be. And here I'm making more knots right here where I flipped over the track, just so it can lay as flat as possible. And I'm also making sure that I wrap the thread around the needle twice before I pull it through, just so it can create that knot and the thread is on there securely. Next time I do this, I'll probably be a lot better at it, but like I said, this is my first time making a wig and I think it turned out pretty good for a first timer. I kind of wish that I hadn't made my part so far back, and I actually could have used a little bit more of the hair, but it still turned out really good. I think it looks natural. And you can kind of see at the front where I have been flipping over the track and how I'm not crossing over that line, and you'll see what I do to cover that part up, because I do want my leave out to lay as flat as possible over the hair. So I'm just laying a track across there. That's after I filled in the space and I cut the last track. I'm just laying an additional track over that part where I flipped all the tracks so that it can cover it, and then when I put my leave out over it, it'll be easier to blend into. So now I'm just trying on the wig to see where I'm supposed to part it at. I didn't do it initially, so now I'm just parting out all the space where I want my leave out to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and braid my hair. And guys, you do not have to be the best braider, because you'll see in a second that I can't braid. I cannot braid, but I made something happen. So I'm just flat twisting my leave out of the way, just so I don't get it caught in the braids that I'm trying to do to lay my hair flat. And then I'm going to just braid my hair. First I wanted to put a perimeter braid around the leave out, just so I can have something to sew the wig down to. And you can see that braid that's right behind my leave out, and it should be a lot smaller and tighter and neater than that, but I tried, y'all. And you can see this other braid that I'm doing, it's not quite that tight, but I tried, and that's all that matters. So now I'm just taking some coconut vinegar and doing a vinegar rinse on the hair to clarify it and make sure that there's nothing on the hair before I put it in my head. And it actually rinsed out pretty clean, so I didn't see any residue or anything. And so after that, I'm just taking my Tea Tree Tingle conditioner from Trader Joe's and conditioning the hair. I put it into a plastic bag and used my hooded dryer for about 5 to 10 minutes just to let that conditioner soak in there. Then after that, I took it out and rinsed the hair in cool water just so that it could maintain or retain all that moisture. And then I just wrapped it in a t-shirt and stepped on it to squeeze out all the excess moisture. Then I just hung it back up on my mannequin head while I cut the remainder of the netting off. And as you can see, I ended up cutting a lot of it off. I actually could have sewn more hair onto there, but and here you can see how far back my part is, but I didn't part my hair back that far, so it was some work trying to cover this part up, but I made it happen. So then I just sewed the wig onto that perimeter braid, and then I needed some help from my boyfriend, so he just tied a knot at the end of my thread and cut it for me, because I'm good for cutting out some random pieces of my hair because I can't see what I'm doing. And then I just continue to sew. And I sew all the way around the perimeter, even in the back. And then I just took out my leave out, and to my surprise, it did not blend at all. Not even a little bit. I had like this fro on top of this straight weave. So I went and got some of my Jane Carter Solution wrapping lotion, and I decided to French braid the hair down to the best of my ability. Another struggle in itself. And then I just wrap my hair up in a scarf and gel down my edges. And then I put flexi rods on the end of the braids so that I could have a little curl at the end. And I sat under my dryer until it was about 95% dry. And this is what the curls look like when I took off the dryer. And I just oiled my fingers so that I can reduce any frizz, and took down the braids, and it was blending in perfectly. I just tucked in a few pieces that were sticking out with some bobby pins and pinned it on the side, and this is the final result. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up and comment below and let me know what you think about this hair, as well as what kind of protective styles you're going to be rocking for the fall season. And I'm just gonna get out of here. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you want to see my update on this hair, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye. Ooh, ooh, look at this hair. Oh, look at this hair.